Good morning, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Bill Brady, and I work for Do It Lean, an OutSystems partner. And today, I'm going to help you understand how to build and change applications using OutSystems Platform. I'm going to show you why OutSystems is the #1 platform for building mobile apps, portals and web applications, voice and chatbot-powered virtual assistants, as well as core business systems. You'll see how OutSystems enables you to develop across your entire stack, leveraging the resources you already have. How you integrate, unify, and extend your existing data using OutSystems. How the platform supports continuous integration and deployment, monitoring and governance, and even lets you collect end-user feedback on your applications. And how you can deliver exceptional digital experiences across a range of touchpoints, from web and mobile to chatbot and voice. Today, we're going to focus our demonstration on how you use it to build and change applications. We'll use the visual editor to publish an application model. We'll see it running live as a responsive web application accessible from any device. We'll make a quick change to the application model, publish it again, and see the change running live. Today's demo app orchestrates an order approval process that updates our core business and SaaS systems. It has multiple decision points, both automated and manual. It generates PDFs and emails them to customers for digital signing. It sends mobile notifications. It's designed to showcase some of the complexity that can be solved with OutSystems, and it's modeled visually here. At the upper right, you see 4 tabs that we use to model the different layers of our application: our processes, interfaces, logic, and data. The process layer is where you model the business process flows that tie everything together. Here is the model for the process I just talked about. It's an order approval process that begins when the user clicks a button in our demo to submit their order for approval. Notice it's visual, intuitive, and easy to understand. You see the design widgets in the toolbox at left? There are widgets for sending emails, decision points, activities for both human and automated. An example of an automated activity would be automatically approving orders entered by a sales manager, since they are the approvers of orders anyway. Or getting the finance department approval for any discount above a certain threshold. An example of a human activity would be a person interacting with a screen, for example, to click the Approve button. The interfaces layer is where we design our screens using UI widgets. They include forms widgets, widgets for input fields, charts, date pickers, upload widgets, checkboxes, radio buttons, you name it. And since you can extend the visual editor with your own code, your options are virtually limitless. The logic layer is where we model client and server-side logic, integrations, APIs, REST and SOAP services, as well as application roles. Notice this logic sample resembles a flowchart. Again, it's intuitive and easy to understand. Notice there are widgets for familiar programming constructs such as querying data, conditional logic, looping, and assignments. There's also a widget for reusing your existing logic. The data layer is where we create our entities. These map to your existing database tables or to those managed by the platform. Are there any questions before we see this application running live? I'm going to choose a sample sign-on, and I'm going to use someone who has the sales representative role. In this case, I'm using the platform's integrated authentication, but it could be Active Directory or SSO of some type. Signing on though, first thing I notice is my dashboard. I see it's clean and easy to read. It integrates data from Salesforce and SAP to display my most important KPIs. And it's got the snappy performance that our users have come to expect across the board. Notice when I click this carousel, the UI updates instantaneously. Likewise when I click these other widgets. If I click on the Orders tab, I want you to notice the rows in the table below. They're updated automatically as I type characters into the search field. Likewise, when I filter by amount using these sliders. Clicking New Orders and quickly selecting a couple of products, we're going to see more responsive behavior, this product edit pop out. Now, clicking to Submit for approval is going to kick off a workflow that alerts my manager that an order requires approval. It uses the manager's preferred notification channel, in this case a notification to a mobile device, but it could be Slack, Workato, SMS, what have you. It also sends an approval task to the finance manager, but only if the discount requested is above 10%. Otherwise, the finance approval is automatic. When the order is approved, the application automatically generates PDFs and emails them to my customers for digital signature. Our admins love this app. And as I mentioned, the application synchronizes data from Salesforce, we see the sync date, and from SAP, but these backend systems could be anything. Those are just examples. Now I'm going to change roles. I'm going to sign on as a sales manager to approve this transaction, but I'm going to do it from my mobile device. Since we're doing this using an emulator, envision that I've received a notification on my mobile device. It deep links to a mobile app that enables me to approve that order with a single click. It could easily be a native mobile app, but this was deployed as a PWA, a progressive web app, which means we avoided the entire App Store approval process. Notice we have a little pin here to eliminate having to sign on again using our password. And we see that our sales manager, Eddie, looks like he's been slacking off because there are a number of orders here waiting for his approval. If I click on one of the orders, I can see the details, click on products, check my discount, go back to orders, and click approve, all from my mobile device. Now, if I signed on again as a salesperson, we'll see the order status advance through the different stages following the process flow that we saw in the visual model. And we'll see that screen displaying some different buttons based on the status of the order. I'm not going to show you that unless there's a request to do so, however. Are there any questions on what you've seen so far? To summarize what we just saw in the last part of the demo, we saw an application that integrates data from Salesforce and SAP with our existing core systems. It probably eliminates the need for me to learn those systems and also saves me some licensing costs on those platforms as well. It provides a unified view of our enterprise data that I can access from any device. It enables automated rules-based approval of my transactions and lets my managers focus on the exceptions, which can be approved from mobile devices. It automates mundane, time-consuming tasks like generating PDF versions of orders and emailing them to my customers, and it can be changed as quickly as we're able to innovate new ways to improve the process. Now let's say Eddie the sales manager has shared a suggestion with us for doing just that. Let's say he's submitted a change request and he's asked for a role-specific dashboard for sales managers only. To make our change, we'll use the Interfaces tab to create a new screen based on a dashboard template. Templates bundle visual elements, along with validations, queries, and other screen logic. You can think of them as visual sample code that can quickly be adapted to work with your own data and to meet your specific application requirements. We're going to give this a different name. Copying the template into our visual model, we see that its queries and other behaviors reference the transaction entity. So with a simple drag and drop, I'm going to replace these references with the orders entity, which is already mapped to my enterprise data. Notice when I do, the screens and the query logic are updated automatically. Notice that the columns in this table are from the orders entity, and the screen labels, queries, and other elements have been updated as well. Now we need to secure this dashboard so that only managers can see it. So the first thing I'm going to do is adjust the screen properties so that the sales manager box is checked, but these other boxes are unchecked. Now I'm going to add this screen to our menu. I'm going to add a little space, and then I'm going to enclose this link in a conditional display widget to make sure that only managers can see it. So we're going to choose a built-in function that checks to see if the user is a sales manager. And now we're going to publish our application. While we do, I'm going to take the opportunity to summarize what you've just seen. I used the visual editor to create a new screen from a dashboard template, visual sample code if you will. The sample code has queries and other behavior that operate on a sample entity. I updated the sample code to use my enterprise data simply by dragging and dropping the orders entity onto my new screen. Then I made the screen role-specific by simply clicking the checkbox and securing the menu item. Oh, and we recompiled and redeployed it to our dev server, all with just a click. Signing on again as a sales manager, I see my new menu along with my new dashboard. Are there any questions on what I've just shown you before I wrap with some closing remarks? I want to remind you that the purpose of sharing all this is not to impress you with the capabilities of our demo app, but to help you understand the types of applications that you can build with OutSystems and to give you a sense of how we're able to build them so quickly. We started with a look at the visual model for a demo application and how we use the visual IDE to make changes across the entire stack, the processes, interfaces, logic, and data layers. We published the app and we saw it running live. The app demonstrated some pretty quick React performance. It demonstrated a complex approval process with both human and automated activities that included approving an order on a mobile device, as well as generating documents for digital signing. We used the visual editor to make a change, adding a new dashboard secured by role, and we published that change and we saw it running live. You've seen just a tiny sample of what you could build with OutSystems, along with some of the tooling used to do it, and there's obviously much more to share. So when the time is right, we'd welcome the opportunity to talk to you about other topics, like digging deeper on integration or deployment automation, monitoring, logging, debugging, etc. How OutSystems Platform supports the full application lifecycle. In the meantime, thank you for attending our demo and have a great day.